Alright guys, so this is going to be a second part of how to wire or install a 12SI alternator in your older Jeep. Probably for Cherokees, Wagoneers, definitely for the J10, 20, and so forth, for the 70s at least. So to recap real quick, the last video I mentioned how I modified this 12SI, which is a 94 amp alternator, to mount into the existing bracketry of this car. It's very simple. Like I mentioned, you just have to drill the hole larger on the bracket on the actual alternator for the bolt. You had to add shims up here, and then for the bottom, all you have to do is loosen the bracket that it bolts into, because it swivels up and down. And I added 3 washers because that's the difference for the gap between the two. It's really that simple. And now as for wiring, I have also mentioned how to wire it really quick, but I'll show you really quick again. So the 12SI is a 3-wire alternator. It has the white plug down here with the red and the white wire. It has the charging wire. So the charging wire is this red one right here in the middle. That goes directly to your starter solenoid. And then from your starter solenoid, your battery cable. Okay? The other side of the starter solenoid is the cable for the starter. This one actually needs to be replaced. You see it's kind of corroded. It's 50 years old, and it's black too. I don't know why it's black. But anyway, the next wire would be this red one right here and that yellow one. These are the two that go into the dash for the amp meter. The amp meter you bypass by connecting both wires together, removing them from the actual amp meter itself. But your dash still needs power, so for now, you could technically just hook up one of these and put the other one aside and heat shrink it and stuff like that, or cut it if you want. I just hooked them both up, so the dash has 2 loops of 10 gauge wire going to the cluster. Not a big deal, it's just easier for me to do it this way. The next wire is the sensing wire on the alternator. That's that big red wire down there. It's like a 16 gauge wire, I believe. That wire you want to hook up to your starter solenoid or your power distribution center, whichever you have on your vehicle. This is where the distribution for the power goes to. The reason why you want it right here is because that's where the more accurate voltage for the system is, not on the back of the alternator charging pin like some people do. If you do it that way, the alternator is going to be reading its own voltage, and you're not going to get a accurate voltage up or down, you know, as the system is charging or you put a load on the system. It's better to put it on the starter solenoid. Now, the next wires, in order to get the vehicle started, the 1-wire alternator that these things came with had a green wire that went to the external regulator. The external regulator on this Jeep has 3 wires. It had a 12-volt constant, a 12-volt ignition, and then it had a green wire that went to the starter solenoid on the top. That's just like a 1-pin wire right here. Some of these have 2, this one has 1. So what I did was I found the 12-volt ignition on this plug right here, and I cut it, and I cut the green wire as well, and I spliced them together right here. And then those sends 12-volt power, or those 2 wires send 12-volt ignition or keyed to the starter solenoid, which tells the starter solenoid to get ready to start. So then you can turn the key and start the vehicle. Now, the next wire is the exciter wire. This is the white wire on the plug of the alternator. This wire, it's black right here because that's all I had, is an 18 gauge wire, and you send that all the way to your, you could technically go off of the 12-volt ignition wire right here, the black one that I cut, but I went to the to the fuse panel. So I ran it over here, and you run it inside the fuse panel. Now what you want to do is, this is the way I did it. So this pink wire is that wire, the exciter wire. So now the exciter wire is wired into a dummy light or a incandescent light bulb. So it wires into the first wire on the incandescent light. And mind you, this light is actually a dome light from a Grand Wagoneer that I just, you know, temporarily put right here for now. And this tape is just holding the wires so it doesn't like dangle around too much. I'm probably going to move this somewhere else so I don't kick it when I'm driving or something. But anyway, you wire it to the first lead of the light. The second lead of the light goes to a 12-volt keyed or ignition source. So that way when you turn your key on, I'll need to hook up the battery. Give me a second. So that way, when you turn your key on, the dummy light comes on, and it lets you know the system is ready. So that light will come on, and I'm not going to crank it for you right now because I have to pump the gas pedal, and I actually need to get to work real quick, but and get this thing started. But when you start the vehicle, the dummy light should come off. That means that the alternator is charging. If the alternator is not charging, this light will come on. It's just like an indicator light, you know, where it says battery or something like that, you know, when your alternator is not charging on any other vehicle. This is just what I did. Now, another reason why you have to do that is because if you don't wire it like this, the alternator actually sends feedback through this wire, and it'll actually continue to charge when you try to turn the vehicle off. So you want this light right here to suck up the power in the line when you turn off the vehicle, so that way the vehicle actually shuts off. The other way of doing it is to install a diode. I don't have a diode, so that's why I did a dummy light. Now the problem with this dummy light is if the bulb burns out and I try to shut the vehicle off, it won't shut off. The only way to shut the vehicle off is to actually pull this wire from the fuse panel, and it should shut off. So it's good to have a resistor and the light in here, or the diode altogether, no light. Or you could wire yourself a kill switch, you know, something like this if you wanted to. But that's how you wire this stuff. So it's very simple. If you don't understand, go back on the video and rewatch what I said. But this pertains to the 70s, Cherokees, Wagoneers, J10s, J20s. It's all the same. So it's very simple on how to do this. You just need basic materials, you know, like wire and connectors and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. So now when I have this thing running, the lights on the dash don't flicker on and off. The headlights don't get dim, bright, dim, bright, dim, bright. It charges like it should. So when I tested it, it was at 14.7, 14.8 volts. So mind you, my battery was a little low. But anyway, I'll let you guys go. Thanks.